Hi, my name is Paul Gilson, and this is not a pipe video, nor is it a karaoke video. It's a little chat about those who have lost children, whether they are children or adults. If they're yours, it doesn't matter how old they are. They could be 30, 40, 50 years old. Uh, if they're yours, they're your children. And I want to share my experience. Um, on May 2nd of 2017, my oldest son, David, who I thought was doing very well, uh, decided to hang himself with a ratchet strap in his garage at approximately 9:30 at night. At 10:32 on a Tuesday, May 2nd, I received a call from my ex-wife, and she told me what happened. Well, actually, she couldn't even tell me what happened. Um, she couldn't get a word out. She was bawling her eyes out, and I just said, "Which one of my sons are dead?" And she said, "David." I said, "What happened?" And she could barely get it out, and she just said he hung himself. And so uh, my landlord slash neighbor, because I live in a double house, was sitting on the couch next to me, and he's like, "All right, man, I'm gonna get out of here." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You're gonna. I need you here." And that uh, that was a bomb. That was a huge blow to me. And so, how did I deal with that? Well, I started reading my Bible a lot more. Those of you that are atheists, I'm sorry for you. But I do have my Lord in heaven that got me through it. And it was very hard. We had a viewing, and to go see your 31-year-old son in a casket before he's cremated, because we just couldn't afford, burial and tombstone and all that stuff, is surreal. Yeah, just I remember when he was born. I watched him come out of his mother. Um, that was one of the happiest days of my life. And when he left this earth, it was one of the most heartbreaking days of my life. So, relying on the Lord, reading my Bible, just I used to come home and just bawl my eyes out after work, and sometimes my eyes would be so swollen they'd be swollen shut, and I there were times that I just couldn't go to work the next day uh, because of that. And There were times where I drank a lot more than I should have, just to numb the pain. And so after about 3 years, um, I kind of come to deal with what happened. Still wasn't happy about it, obviously. Still didn't really want to accept it. But I'd reached the point in my life after 3 years of mourning that I still had uh, 5 other sons and 4 beautiful daughters that needed me. And I needed to have myself together to be there for them. And so slowly the pain receded a bit of losing David. And just then, when I thought things were going to be okay, I get a call on February 22nd, 2021. My phone started blowing up, and I got 2 ex-wives blowing my phone up. I got, a daughter-in-law. All these people are blowing my phone up. I'm at work. I work in a factory, so I didn't hear all this, but I felt my pocket vibrating like relentlessly. And I opened the phone up, and they said, "You need to call right now. It's about Michael." And Michael, I was very close to. He was, and I'm still sure is, I'm looking at his picture right now, a sweetheart. And he was a true good young man. And but he had a heroin problem, which we all thought he kicked. We did a family intervention and sent him out of state for rehab, and he was clean for 3 years, and then all of a sudden he went back to it, and didn't survive that adventure. And so the text that I got from my daughter-in-law was, "He's unresponsive, he's not breathing," and the paramedics have been working on him for a half hour. They're trying to save his life. And I was just like, nah, it's over. And she was like, "Do you want to come over?" Yeah, like I want to come over and watch paramedics try to save my son's life. I'm at work. And so the second most devastating text that I've ever received in my life was, "He didn't make it. He's gone." That just ripped my heart out. Like you can't believe. I was unable to shed a tear, but I shook. Oh, I shook. My whole body shook. That was a piece of me that just went away. And so I went to my boss and said my son just died from a heroin overdose, and I need to go home. And He says, just leave. I'll take care of everything with human resources. So, boom, second son to die within 3 years. And that is a, man, you know, you go through one and then you go through a second, and you know what? You watch these babies being born, and you raise them, and you put everything in your heart into instilling good things into them, and they make bad choices, and then they die. It's a horrible thing to think about. It's more of a horrible thing to have to actually live through it, which that was hard. My employer gave me a week off with pay and 2 bereavement days with pay. We didn't have a viewing for my second son. We just couldn't bear to do it. The family couldn't bear to do it. And so we had a memorial and at the funeral home, and all the top brass in my company showed up, which I respect that. I do. They were there not because they had to be they were there because they wanted to be, and I couldn't say that I'm over with my first son's death, but I've learned to deal with it. I am definitely not over with my second son's death, and still dealing with that very hardly. So anyways, those of you who have lost children or adult children, just rely on your maker and do what you can. Paul Gilson, over and out.